We woke up this morning in Seligman, Arizona, and we made the decision to drive the 4 hours to Joshua Tree National Park because we're really trying to get Caspian to the halfway mark of national parks. He had been to 30 and there's 63, so he's been super close for a while now.
We're so excited about today's episode. It's all about Joshua Tree National Park, which was declared a national monument in 1936 and then a national park in 1994. It's 430,000 acres of just amazing beauty. But first, Brittany came up with an idea.
So Brittany read that we had to stop this place called Foster's Freeze in 29 Palms on the way into Joshua Tree. Caspian, what are we having for lunch? Milkshake for lunch?
Here it's a thing.
Here it's a thing.
Here it's a thing? Foster's Freeze, and I got a root beer freeze. And Caspian, what did you get?
Oreo mint shake.
Oreo mint shake. That looks super yummy, Caspian. And baby, what did you
I
get?
got some kind of chocolate dipped strawberry cheesecake shake yumminess.
All right, we'll have to try them out and see how it goes. What do you think, Mommy?
Delicious.
Is it? Baby, where are we?
We're at Joshua Tree. Caspian wants his vest with his badges on it,
Okay.
so I'm going to get it out.
As a national park, Joshua Tree is fascinating because it contains parts of two deserts, the Lower Colorado Desert and the Higher Mojave Desert. Each portion has its own ecosystem waiting to be explored.
It says basalt is a fine-grained igneous rock. It typically contains high amounts of iron and magnesium and may be black, purple, red, or brown. And then which rock may have full gold? That one? Quartz.
Is that
Yeah.
Joshua Tree is home to a lot of wildlife, including birds, lizards, and ground squirrels, which are the most common, but it also has snakes, bighorn sheep, kangaroo rats, coyotes, bobcats, and jackrabbits.
Is he real?
It says he'll leave his burrow to prey on insects. Its poison causes a minor swelling in humans.
Is it real?
No, not in, well, I mean, I think it is, but it's not alive anymore.
Wait, look. Mommy, not only that.
Did you see the desert tortoise?
And there's a beetle in that.
Do you see that so many of them are living underground? That helps them stay cool in the desert.
The Oasis Visitor Center was special for us because it was the first time we had been inside a visitor center to look at exhibits since COVID had started. We couldn't wait to get into the park, and it was just 3 miles away. We headed on in. One of the things we really love about our national parks is that many of them have off-road trails that are just waiting to be explored. If you have a 4x4 vehicle, you can check them out. As much as we love exploring our national parks by off-road trails, we also love hiking. And there was a short hike called the Barker Dam that we wanted to check out, so we headed on up.
It's a 1.3-mile trail that goes to a rain-filled pool. We'll have to see if there's any water there or if it's all dried up. Assert more effort to pull our foot out. Let's go to the shade and then we'll let the people behind us pass.
Can we take a break?
Let's find some shade and then we'll take a break and have some more water.
Barker Dam is one of the milder trails in the park. It's very short. I think it's 1.3 miles. There's no elevation gain to speak of, no rock scrambling. Just a really nice trail. There's a lot of wildlife in the area because of the vegetation that surrounds the dam, which can fill up during the rainy season.
Which way should we go, Junior Ranger?
This way and then turn around.
This is a great trail. It's absolutely cool. You got the Joshua trees, and you've got the Barker Dam, We've gotten a bunch of signs too that have given us good information, and we've just been having a really nice time.
After a fun-filled day of exploration of Joshua Tree, we decided to find our campsite, which ended up being some BLM land just outside the southern entrance. But first, Brittany had some thoughts on the day that she wanted to share.
It is incredible. I always tell people that every national park is protected for its own reason, and this one was no different. It's so unique, all the rocks, and of course the Joshua trees and the Chola, and we found little ground squirrels while we were hiking, and it was super fun. Man, it took it out of me though, because we were not used to that kind of heat, so we were all just kind of on our 1.3 mile hike. So I'm exhausted now, but the sun is going down and I am ready to chill and enjoy a quiet evening.
It ended up being a great campsite. We did have a nice, relax, and chill evening, but we were ready for round two. So the very next morning, we got up and headed back into the park, and Brittany started working on Caspian's Junior Ranger book with him.
Have you noticed these incredible rock formations around us, Caspian? Scientists come to Joshua Tree National Park to learn more about geology. Do you know what geology is? Geology is the study of rocks.
We are in the Chola Cactus Garden in Joshua Tree National Park. Caspian is working on his Junior Ranger book. You can see how beautiful this is. It's huge. We're going to walk along this trail here in a minute.
The teddy bear chola are also called jumping chola.
Why?
Because they let these pieces go. See the pieces that are piled up everywhere? This is so cool. There's just vines everywhere. We could be stuck here forever.
The teddy bear chola garden was beautiful. They can grow from 1 to 5 feet in height when fully matured, and they have little spines that have barbs on them. Investing time in Caspian with his Junior Ranger booklets is one of the things that we really treasure. We highly encourage any families out there who haven't started this process to try it out.
This is a hole in a Joshua tree. Okay.
After our time in the Chola area, we decided to head up to our next destination, which is called Skull Rock. Just wait till you see this. This is pretty cool.
See what? Yeah? Yeah, it's neat.
So we dropped Brittany off at the Split Rock Trail, and Caspian and I took off to go do the off-road geology trail, which is very washboardy, but absolutely beautiful. And I really don't like washboard roads, but it is beautiful, isn't it, Caspian? Caspian, why don't you tell us about what you see right now?
Well, I don't know why Daddy said it's washboard, and I need him to tell me, so please be done the tours.
Washboard just means we're going up and down, bump, 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 like that.
I don't even like that bump.
I just don't like those bumps, baby. Like, I'd rather be rock crawling.
Well, I like that.
We're now on the one-way portion of the geology tour road, the 4x4 road. Really hasn't been 4x4. I mean, honestly, like I said, it's just been a lot of washboard. There's a little bit of sand, but there's nothing really here that I've seen that would require high clearance. But you do get to go down into this beautiful valley here, and you're surrounded by these mountains and hills. So now it's gotten a little bit off the washboard and more into kind of a sandy road. We're going through a little bit narrow of a part here with some Joshua trees headed back up towards the mountains. I've only seen 3 other vehicles on this road. I'm guessing not too many people take this road, but It's kind of neat to see a part of the park that most people don't get to see. Well, I finally caught up to some vehicles. I'm being held up by a Toyota Land Cruiser and some other vehicle, but they're just out here having a good time too. It's nice to see some other four-wheelers out here enjoying this part of the park. I mentioned earlier that on this geology tour there really wasn't anything that required high clearance, and really not high clearance, but four-wheel drive is probably recommended for the back stretch. The problem is that once you make that turn onto the one-way area, there's nowhere for you to turn around. So you could if you don't have a high clearance vehicle or a four-wheel drive vehicle, you probably don't want to go past the area that begins the one-way, but you could drive out to the area that is one-way and then turn around before it becomes a one-way. It's a beautiful drive though. If you do have a four-wheel drive vehicle, even if it's stock height with stock tires, you would totally be able to do this drive, and it is absolutely worth it. You just see so many fewer people out here, and you get to enjoy Joshua Tree in a way that most people don't. All right, are you ready? All right, it's your turn, baby.
Hello. All right. Looks like you're done with your Junior Ranger book. You want to push it over? We are out of our Junior Ranger badges.
Oh no.
Okay. What we are doing is still looking at the books, still signing or swearing them in. And then if you're comfortable, leave your address with us. I'll have you write it down.
Sure.
I'll transfer it to computer.
Okay.
I'll shred the address, and then we'll send the badge. We'll be getting them hopefully sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you have any questions, Lou?
I do have questions for you.
I can answer them.
Excellent. First, is your name Caspian?
Yes.
Excellent. That's a very, very cool name. It looks like you were here for a few days. Did you get to see any animals in the park?
No, the one that sees pet we saw.
Did you see a tarantula?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see a lizard?
Yes.
Yeah, and a big ground, or maybe a little ground squirrel.
Well, we saw a bunch of them.
Yeah, they're kind of everywhere. All right, excellent. Looks like you saw lots of plants. Looks like you got to do lots of fun places in the park. You got lots of bingos.
You didn't ask what that was.
Well, yeah, that's a hole in Joshua Tree. Who do you think might live there?
An owl.
An owl, yeah. That was a good one, or maybe lots of other little birds. That's okay, I'll get that in a minute.
I can do it.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Excellent. Yes, I need some stronger tape, I think. All right. We will say that this certifies that Caspian is now a Junior Ranger, so I'm going to sign this.
Wow, Caspian. Good work.
Yeah, it looks like you are becoming a Super Junior Ranger. You have lots of badges.
That tells you how many pups I can
Yep, that's a lot of parks. If you will raise that hand in the air just like this, can you raise that up?
There we go.
And then you're going to repeat after me, okay?
Well, not me and Daddy.
Yeah, when Daddy's deputized.
When I'm deputized, but right now we have a real ranger, Caspian.
Yeah. All right, so can you say, as a Junior Ranger,
As a Junior Ranger,
I promise to help protect the plants and the animals, and the rocks and the trails, and all of the history of Joshua Tree National Park. I will do my best to be a friend to nature and to be a good example to all people. All right, so what I have for you now is a sticker, and then in a couple of weeks we're going to mail your badge to you. Does that sound okay? And then you will have a cool Junior Ranger badge for Joshua Tree. I like all your badges, though. You've got a lot of really great ones.
After wrapping up at Joshua Tree National Park, we headed out for some lunch and our drive up towards Las Vegas.
I cannot resist a charbroiled burger, and they had pretty good reviews. They're just outside the Oasis Park entrance for Joshua Tree, and it's one of those little dives. Not much to look at, but it says, well, they're open every day, so that's calling my name. Oh my gosh, what did you guys order?
French toast.
Look at the size of that thing.
There's 2 of us.
And these are your hash browns? That's like a whole platter.
An order of hash browns.
Good thing I just got a burger. Look at you guys, holy smokes. So we had an awesome lunch at Andreas, really good, highly recommended. And now we're headed to Las Vegas, and we should be there in about, maybe, about 3 hours. Yep. So, on to Las Vegas.
We left 29 Palms and had no idea that we were in for a stressful drive, but it was, and here's why.
Gas in 29 Palms was $3.71 a gallon when we can normally get it for about $2.91. So I decided not to get fuel, and we headed north towards Las Vegas. There are no fuel stations, and according to my map, the closest one is 14 miles away from where we are now, but we only have, according to the Jeep, about 10 miles of fuel left. We don't know because we've never pushed Guardian this far, and we are not carrying any extra fuel because in North America we haven't really run into this situation. It's very possible that I will be doing the walk of shame here very shortly in search of a fuel canister and fuel. We are 1.8 miles over where Guardian should be empty according to his dial. We are well underneath the red mark on empty, and we're half a mile from an exit that supposedly has fuel. We're riding on fumes right now. I seriously don't know if we'll make it to the gas station.
How fast are you going?
I am going 55 miles an hour on the freeway.
And the air conditioning hasn't been
And
on.
we're in Nevada.
Woohoo! Nevada!
Caspian, this is your 48th state.
48 states for Caspian! Oh my gosh, I see a Chevron sign!
Chevron, you are a lifesaver. We made it. We made it to the fuel station. It is $4.77 a gallon. It's like the most expensive fuel we found. And right now I couldn't care less. I would pay $10 a gallon. And probably when we drive around the world, we're going to find some places that we have to pay that kind of money. But I was a little nervous, but we made it. And so thank you, Guardian. Thank you, Lord. We're good. So the reason we came to Las Vegas was to try and get Brittany her vaccine, because we're probably going to need that for crossing borders around the world. And so we are here at the VA clinic in southeastern Nevada, hoping that we'll be able to get the vaccine today for Brittany. Well, as usual with the VA, nothing is ever simple. We literally drove all the way across town from the northwest part of town to the southeast part of town to come to where we were told to go. And we got in there, we ended up speaking to 4 different people just to find out that now we have to go all the way back to the northeast part of town, about 45 minutes away, to hopefully go to a place where they may have the vaccine for Brittany. So round 2, we are now at the main VA hospital here in Las Vegas, and we are hoping that this is the answer for the vaccine.
I got it!
Woohoo!
Yay! I'm so thankful. So excited. Feels good. It's been a long year.
So we'll be back in the Las Vegas area around May 3rd. And now we are headed to a little coffee shop where Brittany's going to get some work done. Then Caspian and I are going to go hang out for a bit while she does that. So Brittany is off to work in that coffee shop that's over there. And Caspian and I are going to REI, which is on this side of the parking lot, and get our supplies. Right, Caspian?
Yep. And I think that we should show you some inside. So we should.
Look at that. They've got the doors wide open for us, Caspian.
Yeah, let's go.
Having finished our errands, we went an hour out of our way, and here's why.
We are headed to Pahrump, Nevada to meet up with Robert, who's a friend of ours, and we're going to be spending some time with him later on. But he's got a book that we want to check out about the Mojave Road.
Mojave Road Guide. Adventure is out there, except I made that second part up.
Apparently, it's like the book for the Mojave Road, and he's got a copy of it. So we are literally driving up to Pahrump to meet Robert and to grab a copy of that book from him, and then hopefully we'll head back down the Mojave Road, do that for a few days, and then we're going to meet back up with Robert, and he is going to take us around Death Valley National Park, I think on the 18th of April. So we're really excited about that, but that's what we're doing today. It was really fun to spend time with our friends Eric at the first house that we stayed at for one night, and then David and Tara and their son at the second house that we stayed at. We didn't take any footage of that. We want to be very respectful of our hosts that host us from time to time. But now we're back at it, so check out this view.
Well, we made it to Pahrump, picked up the book from Robert, turned right back around, and headed south.
We're south of Henderson in Nevada, and we are staging to do the Mojave Road tomorrow, but it's just kind of getting later in the day and we want to stop and do dinner. So there's people doing photo shoots out here. We're gonna go find a place to park and have some tacos if the wind doesn't knock the stove over.
All right, Caspian's playing with this remote control vehicle, and Brittany is making us dinner.
Yeah.
What are we having, babe?
I'm gonna have some Greek salad tonight. I decided I didn't want to use the stove because it's so windy.
It is windy. We were going to stop in that dry lake bed, and it was nothing but a dust bowl. And then Brittany found this BLM site over on this far side over here that had this barrier, which doesn't protect us fully from the wind, but it's definitely helped. So you can see this little barrier here, and then it kind of drops down, and way over there is the dry lake bed where we were going to stay. But we ended up getting this spot over here.
The spot was great. We had a good night's sleep, and the next day we were headed to the Mojave Road. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and our next episode is going to be all about the Mojave Road. So check it out. Please like, comment, subscribe, help us out there, and we'll see you in the next episode.